Okay, so the next definition is frame member, and I can't really say too much about what that means, except that in the hollow metal industry, you have components that are put together, are mated together to comprise a frame, and frame members are going to be different in the sense of where they are in the frame and what shape they are and what dimensional properties they are. But in general, frame members are going to be broken down into standard categories like a jamb. A jamb is going to be something that will run vertically and is attached on the stile of the door, is between the stile of the door and the wall. That would be the jamb. The header is going to be a different type of frame member. It's going to have the same profile shape generally as the jambs, except if it's double egress, it'll have a different profile. If you looked at the entire header, it would be shaped a little bit differently depending on what side of the opening it is. But you could also have sills. You could have sills that you'll use in borrowed lights or side lights. When it comes to jambs, you can have a strike jamb or a hinge jamb or a blank jamb. You can then have mullions as well. And mullions can be blank, or they can be a strike mullion or a hinge mullion or a combination of one of the other used with the opposite at the same time. And all of those frame members get put together to comprise a complete frame. So let's switch to the screen view and let's take a closer look at what a frame member looks like according to SDI.
If you are enjoying this video, please click thumbs up or like, and also please consider subscribing to our channel. Let's move on to the rest of the video.
Okay, frame member. A component in a frame product, such as a jamb, head, mullion, or sill, period. For more information, see HAMA Tech Note, HAMA 820 TN 0203. Let's just copy that and let's see what we can actually glean from that. I've seen this document many times, and really what this is probably just going to talk about is continuously welded frames is what the reference document is. But in this document, I suppose the point of referring to it is that they do give you different ideas of different frame members in context of how they're welded together. But nonetheless, as we go through this document, you can see where SDI is getting their drawing from. And, if you were to talk about how to weld the frame, this would be a good document. But it also gives you the definition of what the constituent parts of a jamb or a head or a sill would be called. And these definitions are really important. It's missing one definition in the sense of what a frame can be, but in context of this document, continuously welded, you would not have the missing component, the backbend return. So these words, these terms are really important to know. They are missing jamb depth here. I would add jamb depth as here to here. Generally, the throat is 1 inch less than the jamb depth. Sometimes it's 7/8 less. And that would occur on 5 3/4 jamb depth frames to have a 4 7/8 throat. But you have your return, you have your face. This is your rabbet. That's your stop face, and that's your soffit. And then it just returns with the same definitions going around. Missing a backbend return, common for drywall frames, missing jamb depth. But nonetheless, if you look through this, you'll see a reference to all of the different components. And if you're doing 3-sided jambs, yeah, you just need a strike jamb, a hinge jamb, and a header generally. But if you're going to be doing any sort of browed lights or side lights or transoms, things of that nature, yeah, sure, you're going to have these other components, mullions, sills, possibly. Transom panel, it's not included in terms of it being a frame member, but you might want to think about a transom panel if you need a transom panel. And, again, not too much else here to add. And as I look back here at frame member, The important component of this is to know the definition or the words used. What is a jam? What is a mullion? What is a sill? What is a header? Possibly a transom panel, but that's it. Frame members. When you're looking at something, you're looking at an elevation, it's handy to know what all that's called. I feel like this explanation of the definition is far, far, far too broad. So if there's something specific that you'd like to discuss, by all means, reach out to me. I'd be happy to kick it around with you. Let's move on to the next definition, and that's going to be frame profile. I feel like I've discussed this 100 times to Sunday, but we will go ahead and talk about the obvious. Let's move on.